Hi, welcome to the second edition of MsJess Unfiltered. Consider this the introduction to what's upcoming. I just wanted to start off. We've got a couple exciting things going on, or at least I consider them exciting. First, what's up with the scarf? Well, we all know. I just wanted to start a trend. We all know what these are, don't we? These are these new fashionable masks. Well, there's something a little discerning about walking through a store and seeing a big burly guy walking around with a mask on. I kind of feel like I'm about to be robbed at gunpoint. And I think they're ugly. So I had a doctor's appointment today, which was actually pretty cool because I got to roll out of bed, come downstairs, and get in front of the computer without even having to wash my face. And I got to have a doctor's appointment. And I was talking to my doctor about it. And I said, is it safe to just use a scarf? It looks better. It makes me feel better about myself. And he said, yes, it's safe to use a scarf as long as it's covering your nose and your mouth. And he said I could start a new trend. So that's what MsJess is going to do today. I'm starting a new fashion trend of just plain simply using a scarf as a mask when I go out, which is perfect because I have a scarf to match just about every shirt that I own, and I feel better doing that. So, ladies and guys, if you wish to do so, use a scarf. It looks better. And I don't know if you guys are getting this from the news or if you guys have figured this out yet, but you know what? Scarves and these masks, they're not going to keep you from catching it. They're just going to prevent you from passing it on. I got this from my doctor today when I spoke to him. You heard it from MsJess. Okay, well, this is just the introduction to what's coming up. We're going to be talking to a gentleman, Javon Terrence, who owns a business on Broadway. He's been there for 8 years. But this is just the introduction to what I actually recorded last week. I've been fiddling and editing to a program that I have. That's why I didn't get posted last week. I've been working hard on it. I'm learning. I was laid off with, I said before, my Charlie Brown luck. My Charlie Brown luck took down the whole world. Just days away from getting hired in, possibly. And not only did I get laid off, but the rest of the world did too. I got to take it in stride. But anyway, in order to keep my mind busy, I start this huge project of doing a vlog. And not only do I do a vlog, but I have to use this huge program to make it perfect. So anyway, consider this the introduction to what I actually did last week. So we have the Lorraine's Best. I'm featuring a person that has a business on Broadway. You'll hear about him. I have a What Day Is It, which I'm not going to lie, stole from Fox 8. A couple other little things I just talk about. And if you have any ideas that you want me to discuss on here, you have anybody you want featured on here, email me at MsJessUnfiltered@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear suggestions. I even want to hear your criticisms. I have a thick skin. I don't mind. So enjoy the show. Hi. Welcome to the second edition of MsJess Unfiltered. Today we are going to briefly discuss a new business that I found in downtown Lorraine. Not really new, but I just found him and I figured I'd talk a little bit about what he's doing and talk about a little bit of the happenings that occurred over the week and a little bit of weird news that I wanted to share with everybody just to make things exciting here. Let's start off with this coronavirus business. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that because there's every time you can't put the news on without hearing that. We don't even know who's got shot or stabbed anymore or what buildings got robbed because it's all coronavirus. So I just want to talk a little bit about it. I've heard people say that it was a hoax. I can't figure out how that would be a hoax. But how they've inflated their numbers and that now this was told to me by a certain person last week. They inflated their numbers And they're going to say when the numbers don't reach what they say that it's because of the social distancing. I heard those words today on the news, so maybe this person is kind of maybe onto something a little bit here. The flu killed 60,000 people last year in America alone. That's a rough guesstimate. And I did not see them closing factories down, closing businesses, making grounding everybody to stay home, and then handing out everybody a bunch of money. I I don't think it's so much that it's a hoax, but I do think there's something else going on, something bigger and uglier that we don't know about. And because they're letting criminals out of jail, they're handing out money and they're talking about a new stimulus package. Something crazy is going on. Mark my words. On April 8th at 6:22 in the evening, MsJess said there's something else going on. But moving on along, I wanted to share this. This is so funny. I read it the other day. This is my news of the weird story for today. This came out of Melbourne, Australia. Some guy during this whole coronavirus lockdown thing was so bored that he's an astrophysicist named Daniel Reardon, and he wanted to experiment on different ways to keep people from touching their face. So he makes a necklace that was made with magnets and a necklace and bracelet that are made with magnets that would sound an alarm whenever somebody reached up. Well, that didn't really work. So he started playing with the powerful magnets, neodymium magnets. Sorry, never heard the word before. Can't say it. He clipped them to his earlobes and his nostrils. That's when it all went bad for this poor dude. Two magnets that were inside of his nostrils became stuck together, and he couldn't separate them. And then he tried using pliers, but they became magnetized. He's quoted in this article as saying, "Every time I brought the pliers close to my nose, my entire nose would shift towards the pliers, and then the pliers would stick to the magnet." Finally, his partner took him to the hospital where she works. And he said that she took her to the hospital where she works so all her colleagues could laugh at him, which is something I would probably do because it's just too funny. The doctors applied the spray that they put on kids' skin before stitches to numb it. They put that on them, and then they manually remove those magnets. He's quoted as saying, "Needless to say, I'm not going to be playing with the magnets anymore." So I thought I wanted to share that. I mean, I know there's weirder, funnier news out there, but that's kind of in line with what's going on in the world, and I found that pretty stinking interesting. So let's see. Oh yeah, okay. What else am I gonna talk about today? Um, does anybody know? Has anybody heard of the story of the ghost ship? This is the ship that is you got the Henderson Bridge. Below it, in the Black River, there's a ghost ship that was left there abandoned. My daughter told me that that is the ghost ship and nobody knows where it came from. And it says it says some I can't see the three words on it, but it says Canada. Maybe you guys can tell me what this is. Okay. Well, just to share with you guys a little bit, while we were on our walk, we got to see two deer just out in the middle of a parking lot hanging out, eating. We seen the ghost ship. Let's see what else did we see. We seen this little boat. It looked like a family boat, and it's underneath again the Henderson Bridge, but it's not in the water. And there's the boat, and there's three life jackets, and there's shoes. Did somebody lose a boat? Um, and nothing like being in Lorraine when you see an empty pill bottle laying on the ground with somebody's name still on it. You got to wonder about people. On our walk, I seen multitudes and multitudes of latex gloves on the ground, like like this. And it's just, why do people do that? People, if you're gonna use a latex glove, when you're done, throw it away. How hard can it be to throw something away in the garbage can? You don't get a lot. posted something about him as well. He was out front. I found him out front of his building creating CDC approved masks, half of which he was donating to local businesses and half of which he was going to go ahead and sell. He was also in New York City and Paris. He's been on Broadway with his business for the last 8 years, and here we're going to meet him. And the person that we're talking about this week is Javon Terrace. I talked with him on Broadway last week, and coincidentally, the Chronicle Telegram posted something about him as well. He was out front. I found him out front of his building creating CDC approved masks, half of which he was donating to local businesses and half of which he was going to go ahead and sell. He was also in New York City and Paris. He's been on Broadway with his business for the last 8 years, and here we're going to meet him. If it's okay and I have your permission to put you on there. Okay.
It's funny because people can't see you smiling in the mask. It's like I'm smiling in the mask. I might not, it looks mean like this, the whole time. So.
And you're donating. What other organ? If it's okay and I have your permission to put you on there. Okay.
It's funny because people can't see you smiling in the mask. It's like I'm smiling in the mask. I might not, looks mean like this, the whole time. So.
And you're donating. What other organ?
Some for them for the course. So.
And what is your name?
Javon.
Javon?
I'm going to give you this card. I can give you the incidents.
And coming up next. Jenny, I need you to do something important for me. This is very important. Since nobody goes to work anymore, nobody knows what day of the week is it. Jen, what day of the week is it?
It's Saturday.
Thank you. I want to thank you for watching. I'm learning as I go. This short video took me about 3 weeks of fumbling around as I learn new things. Each time it'll get better. Thank you for watching. Any questions or comments, email me at MsJess Unfiltered@gmail.com.